It is Tuesday, June 10th, and multiple SoCal sheriffs have had enough, turning on Gavin Newsom, coming out, telling America what Newsom is really doing behind the scenes. Also, who's behind these LA protests? Who's orchestrating all of this? Well, we have some answers and more stories as well from around the country, including what's now popping up in Austin, New York City, and planned for DC this weekend. We have the details, but before we get started, make sure to like and subscribe if you appreciate these regular updates.
When you have politicians that are encouraging it, that are not calling it what it is, which is criminal activity, the lying to all of us, lying to the media, and purposely using the word peaceful.
Look at the social organization that's putting out these flyers. It's a party for socialism and liberation, which is, and I kid you not, the actual Communist Party. So
we are forming a select team of the toughest dudes in the area. The unit will be activated only when the situation demands it.
So today's day 4, the 4th day of anarchy and chaos in the streets of LA. Mass protests and organized riots across downtown Los Angeles. LAPD completely overwhelmed. Dozens of officers injured, their police cruisers destroyed for 3 nights. It's been lawless in LA, and we're now learning much more about who's responsible for this, who's organizing, paying for this. Yesterday, the chief of the LAPD held a press conference and admitted this is all an orchestrated op. The rioters aren't organic, he said. They are paid activists and antagonists who are flown in, bussed in, whenever these types of events happen, city to city. Watch what he said.
They've got a hoodie on, they've got face masks on. They're people who do this all the time, get away with whatever they can. Go out there, from one civil unrest situation to another, using the same or similar tactics frequently, and they are connected. Some would call them anarchists or by any other variety of names, but they're people that we run across routinely city to city, and this is what they do. So even more disgusting that many of the people who are doing this come in from other places just to hurt people and to cause havoc.
These groups are very well orchestrated, well funded. LA Mayor Karen Bass admitting accidentally yesterday on CNN that these people have some rapid response network, rapid reaction forces that they send out whenever ICE tries to deliver one of their felony warrants. The rioters meet ICE and surround them. Somehow they know about their operations, protecting the illegals from ICE. Who's tipping them off? How are they aware of ICE operations? Unbelievable. Watch.
That went on last night. I will tell you that it is peaceful now, but we do not know where and when the next raids will be. That is the concern, because people in the city have a rapid response network. If they see ICE, they go out and they protest. And so it's just a recipe for pandemonium that is completely unnecessary. Nothing was happening here. Los Angeles was peaceful before Friday. When we find out when and where the other raids are going to happen.
Yesterday, Fox 13 catching them in the act, live on air, watching men in a black truck pull up to the center of these protests. Now, normally cars can't just pull through these protesters. This one black vehicle, though, pulls right up to the center of them, drops off a load of gear, bionic face shields that were quickly dispersed to all the protesters. Fox saying, yeah, that's not the kind of thing that someone can just buy in bulk. Watch.
Cleared the 101 freeway, so perhaps they're not where you are, but there's a lot of them already positioned there. They're not getting caught off guard by a crowd gathered here.
So, I mean, that was quite a shot that we have there of these folks, and your photographer just gave us a great shot of the box that was left behind, which showed the brand of mask. I mean, it's not the kind of thing, thank you for seeing this there. It looks like a bionic shield is what that's called. I mean, that's not the kind of thing that you buy in bulk if you don't plan on doing something with it. And the fact that that's being handed out kind of like candy to everybody gives you an indication that these folks probably plan to be here for a while.
Well, we're now learning who's responsible, who's funding, organizing all this, and I hope you're sitting down. Congresswoman Anna Paulina Luna, the chairwoman for the House Oversight and Accountability Committee, uncovering one of the groups behind all this and what they're planning next, saying Saturday, June 14th, in 4 days, is the big one. That's when the larger plot, she says, is activated. Scary stuff. Listen to this.
If you actually look at the social organization that's putting out these flyers, it's the Party for Socialism and Liberation, which is, and I kid you not, the actual Communist Party. So
we are forming a select team of the toughest dudes in the area. The unit will be activated only when the situation demands it.
Who is behind all these crazy riots in LA and that will be across the nation? Just like remember in the Summer of Love with BLM, remember who's organizing all that stuff? With this specifically is being funded by an individual by the name of Neville Singham, who actually made his money by pushing communist Chinese propaganda, became a billionaire doing it. He's now funding, and the guy behind all of these protests was also behind and tied to the protests at Columbia University, pushing all of that BS, if you don't remember. And then also, too, if you actually look at the social organization that's putting out these flyers, it's the Party for Socialism and Liberation, which is, and I kid you not, the actual Communist Party. So they're using Hispanics, they're using illegal immigrants, they're trying to hype people up thinking that they care, but they don't care. They would stop illegal immigration. Obama deported people. Why all of a sudden now? It's political.
We have some breaking news, guys. As history repeats itself, we obviously know that any of these rioters, these protesters, never comes out organically, okay? It is always paid protesters and rioters, and we were absolutely right once again. 2 days ago, I went looking for Craigslist ad. I could not find it because usually they put it under peaceful protest. Well, this time they had it under disguise as general labor. They were looking for construction guys to build a building, apparently, but Right Angle News was able to find it, and this is what the ad says. Let's get into it. The ad is, again, disguised under general labor. They are looking for the toughest badass in Los Angeles County. They are seeking extremely tough, brave men for new crew in building. Compensation starts at $6,500 to $12,500 per week. We are forming a select team of the toughest dudes in the area. The unit will be activated only when the situation demands it, but you get paid every week no matter what. High pressure, high risk, no room for hesitation. What's even more wild is that Karen Bass, the mayor of Los Angeles, went on CNN to say this.
Last night, I will tell you that it is peaceful now, but we do not know where and when the next raids will be. That is the concern, because people in the city have a rapid response network. If they see ICE, they go out and they protest.
So Mayor Karen Bass is essentially confirming that there is a rapid response team, and this is it. Let's continue with the ad. The ad continues to say, we need individuals who do not break, panic, or fold under stress, and are basically all around kick-ass. Dude, physical strength, speed, conditioning is important, but mental toughness is everything. If you're not the biggest guy in the room, but you're the one people follow when things go bad, that's who we're looking for. We are recruiting those who are already hard badasses and ready for confrontation when necessary. However, we can train you if necessary. What we are looking for, mental toughness. You keep a level head under pressure. You don't panic. Bravery. You face danger head on. You don't hesitate. Now, this is just not happening in the state of California. It is actually happening in Texas too. Here's another ad. So here is the ad that is in Craigslist for city of Austin, Texas. Now, we know that there is another protesting happening in Tampa, Florida. So if you guys should go and find one, post it up, let DOJ know, tag the appropriate people, because we know that every single of these protesters are being paid.
Which means the majority of the violent civil unrest we're witnessing in LA has been bought and paid for by us, by American taxpayers. Thank you, Biden administration. That's something no one ever talks about either. What about all the damage in downtown LA? How much money and damages are these people causing? Who's going to pay to repair and fix everything, rebuild it all? We're going to. They spent years going after and prosecuting Americans who just showed up on J6, holding them all accountable. Years in prison sentences those people got, holding them accountable, quote unquote, but we never see anyone anyone held accountable for these riots, the summer of love in 2020. There was no accountability. I think Trump really has a chance right now, a small window of time, to act decisively, send in overwhelming force, invoke the Insurrection Act, arrest all of these masked rioters, and carry out a real major investigation, like a RICO case. Find out who's paying and organizing all of this and hold that group responsible. Make them pay for the damages, perp walk them. We know these big left-wing billionaires fund a lot of these NGOs, Soros, Reid Hoffman. I'm not saying they're directly involved in this, but they do a lot of funding to these NGOs. Someone's doing it. Someone's paying for it. President Trump last night deploying another 2,000 National Guard troops to LA, bringing the total to over 4,000. He also has 700 active duty Marines on standby if needed. Posting on X yesterday, we made a great decision in sending in the National Guard to deal with the violent instigated riots in California. If we had not done so, Los Angeles would have been completely obliterated. The very incompetent governor, Gavin Newsom, and Mayor Karen Bass should be saying, "Thank you, President Trump. You are so wonderful. We would be nothing without you, sir." Instead, they choose to lie to the people of California and America by saying that we weren't needed and that these are peaceful protests. Just one look at the pictures and videos of the violence and destruction tells you all you have to know. We will always do what's needed to keep our citizens safe so we can together make America great again. Meanwhile, legacy media continuing to gaslight us that these protests are mostly peaceful. It's actually funny at this point that they think we're that stupid. And you know, if it wasn't for Elon Musk buying X, the gaslighting may have actually worked. This morning, multiple sheriffs in SoCal have had enough. Sheriff Bianco of Riverside, California, coming out slamming Governor Newsom, telling him, shut up. All he's doing is making these riots worse, saying Dems are encouraging this. They're encouraging it, and they're anything but peaceful. Watch.
Absolutely appalled that we are at this point in society where people come out and think that this is okay. And then it makes it 100 times worse when you have politicians that are encouraging it, that are not calling it what it is, which is criminal activity. The lying to all of us, lying to the media, and purposely using the word peaceful, while maybe they should look at their phones or their TVs, because I have law enforcement officers that are being shot at, that are being injured, that are being hurt, vehicles being damaged, things being burned, and they're calling it peaceful. It is a disgusting display of partisan politics. I wish they would all just put their phones down, be quiet, and let law enforcement handle this how it should be handled, which is the complete enforcement of law and holding criminals accountable. It's rocks, bottles, tools, weapons being thrown at us. You watched multiple vehicles destroyed yesterday by bricks. There are people hauling bricks into the zone and then dropping them off and leaving them there for weapons.
That's right. We showed that on Sunday's broadcast. Pallets of cinder block were trucked in, delivered to the protesters. We showed the video.
And then our deputies and our police officers they're being used against us. And we're being hit with bottles. We're being hit with glass bottles, with tools, with rocks, with bricks. This is not a peaceful protest. It isn't even a protest anymore. It is a violent riot. And if they are going to try and do harm, then it is the responsibility of law enforcement to win that confrontation.
This morning, Democrat Congresswoman Maxine Waters holding a press conference to tell Americans that the videos and reports you're seeing are fake. They're all cheap fakes, she says. That there's no violence, that there's no fires, that no cars are on fire, no one's being firebombed, no one's being injured, that she was on the ground and it's been all peaceful. Don't believe your lying eyes. Yes, this is real. She really said this today. Watch.
Nobody was shot. Nobody was killed. Get it in your head. And so when martial law is called, what are you going to say? I missed the point. Don't miss the point, you all. Don't think that somehow, because they called out the National Guard, there was violence. There was no violence. I was on the street. I know. And I went from downtown detention back out into the community, talking to people what happened in Paramount, what happened in Compton, what happened in Inglewood. So, first of all, get it straight. and don't just rely on what you're being told or the few incidents that you saw.
And this lady represents California, California's 43rd Congressional District, which is Los Angeles. That's what district she's in. She represents Los Angeles, the city that's actively being looted. It's just wild. And she isn't some low-level congressperson. Maxine Waters is in leadership. Why? I have no idea, but she is. She's the ranking member of the Financial Services Committee. Let me know in the comments, why do you think they're fighting so hard to allow these riots to continue? They must know it's not popular. They must know that everyone knows they're gaslighting us. Everyone can see what's really happening. So why are they doing it? Why are they backing all of this? It almost seems like they really don't want ICE in LA, like there's something important they're trying to protect in LA. If they know ICE gets in there, they're going to find it, they're going to disrupt it. What is that? That may make sense because LA is the belly of the beast. It has the largest migrant network. There was even this clip on MSNBC yesterday, I think, where the reporter admits that LA now estimated to have some 1 million plus illegals. 10% of the population is illegal. Yeah, here's the clip. Watch this.
How unusual and how unprecedented the size and the scale and the scope of the immigration enforcement operations that took place in Los Angeles, starting with right here at this Home Depot in Cypress Park at 7 o'clock, 7:15, 7:30 on Friday morning, were and why they led to those protests. The big picture is Los Angeles is a so-called majority minority city and a majority minority state. There are more people of color that live in Los Angeles than white people at this point. And many of those people are undocumented. By some counts, 10% of the population of LA County, one of the largest counties, the largest county by population in the United States, is undocumented. Maybe as many as 1 million people.
All right, that wraps up this episode. Like, subscribe. We'll see you next time.